Hello, everybody. I had one more in me. I don't know. We'll see. This is the one I was thinking about. I wanted to get it simple so people can really understand this 3D, 5D, all the drama. See, most people are living in a state of constant output. They're always chasing time, money, validation. Oh, we got to have results. And all that chasing creates a frequency of contraction. Contraction is the frequency of control. The mind trying to force reality, trying to predict outcomes, trying to secure the future before it arrives. Look how many people plan for the future. Well, the body responds to this signal immediately. Your heart rate rises, your breathing becomes more shallow, your stress hormones stay elevated. The nervous system shifts into survival mode, constantly preparing for what's next. Always bracing for a future that hasn't even happened yet. And when you live this way long enough, contraction becomes your identity. You feel like you have to push for everything, trying, even if it's subtly, to force everything. You got to control everything. Nothing feels natural because your entire system is operating through resistance. But look at the body. Look deeper into it itself. Your fascia, whatever you want to call it. The living fabric that surrounds every muscle, every organ, every nerve, and every cell. See, it begins adapting to the pressure you live under. It thickens. It dehydrates. It hardens up. The body literally creates an armor of contraction to match the frequency of the mind. You're not just mentally stressed. You're physically binding yourself into resistance. And that's where I always tell you the shift, the surrender. That's what happens when expansion begins. It's the moment surrender enters the system, it's not giving up. And it's not becoming passive, but it's releasing the internal resistance to what already is. Because surrender is the opposite frequency of control. Again, that's the true shift of frequency. Contraction or expansion, love or fear. Control contracts the system. Surrender opens it. And the moment that resistance drops, the big body begins reorganizing itself. Not because anything you've done. Breathing naturally slows. The tissues soften. The nervous system stabilizes. The heart becomes coherent. And suddenly the energy that was constantly being pushed outward through stress and effort starts to return inward. No more leaking energy through fear. No more constant survival output. No more fighting reality. You become stabilized. You become clear and present. You're available. And from that state, perception of reality itself changes. You think differently because your brain's no longer filtered through the stress chemistry. You feel differently because the body's no longer armored against life. You act differently because you're no longer forcing outcomes. And because of that, your reality changes. Things begin arriving with less effort. Not because life suddenly favors you, but because your system is finally coherent. The leaks have been sealed. This is what people attempt to describe when they talk about the different levels of consciousness, 3D to 5D. Contraction to expansion. Control to surrender. One state's driven by force, pressure, survival, and resistance. The other is driven by coherence, trust, stability, and flow. In one state, you chase everything. In the other, life begins moving with you. Not by magic, not by fantasy, because your body, mind, and heart are no longer fighting themselves. And when the internal war ends, the frequency changes. When the frequency changes, your reality changes with it. Got an incoming call. Gotta go.